Good Friday morning. It is mostly cloudy out, so the clouds are keeping our temperatures from bottoming out in the 20s, also keeping the fog away. So we thank the clouds this morning, but we're going to be mostly cloudy most of the day. 42 at noon, 46 this afternoon, and breezy. This evening should be dry. Hobnobble Gobble starts dry, but when you're heading out to your cars at midnight, could be some heavy rain coming down. Kim?
All right, Brandon. Well, unfortunately, I have some bad news to report. That water main break on the southbound lanes of Van Dyke is no longer there. However, it has turned into long-term construction. So it is actually still closed between 15 Mile and 14 Mile. That's the southbound lanes, and it's going to remain closed until 5 a.m. on Tuesday. So in the meantime, what you can do is use Mountain instead.
Apparently the cars get a little cleaner in Houston, Texas.
Apparently.
There's a Guinness Book of World Records that is recognizing a car wash near Houston as the longest car wash in the world.
It is 255 feet long. It's a mega wash, and it boasts 25 foam brushes, 17 blowers, and takes about 5 minutes just for you to get through from the start to the finish. Free washes were offered on Thursday to celebrate this achievement. Company officials also said that they operate the largest convenience store in the world that's located in New Braunfels, Texas.
Okay.
Your move, Jack's Car Wash.
I'm like, what's the standard size of a car wash?
I don't even know, but it doesn't take that long to get through Jack's. I mean, maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
It is 5:27, everybody, and new in our next half-hour stories from across Metro Detroit, including Allen Park, Woodhaven, and Livonia.
Plus, a school employee accused of selling pills to students in Ann Arbor.
Also ahead, stealing from Somerset Collection. A couple of thieves busted in what's now become a case much bigger than shoplifting. We're back in a moment.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Well, it started with a robbery, and then shots were fired, and then ended with a police chase. We are live with the breaking news from Detroit.
Plus, selling prescription pills to high school students. And police are saying the pill pusher is actually a school employee.
And it's almost the weekend, everybody. And boy, is that going to be a busy place. Ford Field. We have Hobnobble Gobble tonight, the beatification tomorrow. And Brandon says, getting in and out of there, you're going to need your umbrella.
The traffic downtown is going to be off the chain this weekend.
It is, but it's somehow they've managed. I mean, they do multiple. Last weekend they had a bunch of events. Football game, basketball game. That's just who we are now. You got to get used to it.
Just add some extra time, come down earlier, maybe go out to one of the many restaurants.
Yeah.
And take your time and enjoy the great city.
And bring your umbrella.
Your umbrella.
Brandon says you're going to need it. All weekend, Brandon?
Well, get your pictures on Local 4 Facebook page and Storm Pins, and you could win the Shed Rain Vortex Vent umbrella. Because it's rain and it's wind, and that is exactly what our big gift is designed to take. But yes, late tonight, most of tomorrow, very, very wet. So be prepared for that. If you need to get the leaves up, get them up during the daytime today. It is cool. We have a couple of 20s in our north zone. Marlette 29, Emmett 28, 26 in Saginaw. But you see low 30s in most areas. Macomb 33, 32 Sterling Heights, 33 in Pontiac. It's 32 in Howell right now. And as we look a little closer to Detroit, middle 30s in Wayne County. Washtenaw County has some of those temperatures in the lower 30s, but we're all fairly close. All right, it's a little early to be showing the snow, but we're lighting the tree at Campus Martius tonight. That's my hook there. 34 degrees at 8 a.m., cloudy and calm, 42 at noon. Partly sunny today, 46 through the afternoon. And most of Hobnobble Gobble tonight at Ford Field will be dry. Obviously, we're inside. But when you come out to valet or get your car, rainy by midnight. We'll track the weekend.
Be deported.
A little more coming up right now.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Good morning. We do have our first accident of the morning. Hopefully this won't slow you down too much, but here's where it is. It's on Hoover right at 8 Mile, so just be careful if you do travel that way. But other than that, our freeways are looking good this morning. I also want to take you to some construction over on the east and westbound lanes on Michigan Avenue right at I-75. One lane blocked there between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Also on both sides of Michigan Avenue right at Telegraph. Construction there as well. Expect one lane blocked between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Also, I'll give you an update on some I-96 construction coming up in my next report at 5:44. Back to you.
Kim, thank you. Right now, let's get an update on the breaking news that we're following out of Detroit, where police are investigating a shooting and robbery.
Local 4's Nick Monticelli has moved to a new location now. Nick, what's going on there and what's the very latest?
So, Rod, this is where the shooting actually happened at about 1:45. We are on Woodward on the east side of the road, a couple of blocks north of 6 Mile. If you look behind me closely, you can see that building right there, that green light on the top of the building. That signifies this is a green light location, and that is actually pretty important in this case because there was a camera live at the time, and the Detroit Police Department was able to see what was happening, or at least what the vehicle was involved in this. So about 1:45, right over here, there was a 36-year-old man who told police that he was robbed and then shot by a crew of 3 men. So let's take you to the other scene. This is where the police chase ended after all of this. These 3 men who allegedly robbed and shot this man took off from this location, and there was a short police chase and ended over here at Leland and Russell, which is pretty close to Mack Avenue and Russell. Now again, how were the cops able to figure out who was behind this robbery so quickly? Because of this green light location. They saw the vehicle speeding away. They then were able to catch up. They were able to start that police chase, and then it ended over there at Leland and Russell. Now inside of that vehicle were 3 men. One was taken into custody. He was arrested. The other 2 fled on foot, and they are still looking for them this morning. MSP was out. The canines were out, all tracking, trying to find those 2 others. They have not been able to find them just yet, but they did find a long gun inside of that SUV, and they believe that gun was used in this robbery. Back out here live, that the victim, again, a 36-year-old man, was shot. He is in serious condition, is expected to survive it. Again, he is alert and at least talking to detectives, so police have a better idea of what happened here. We're live in Detroit. Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News today.
Nick, the 2 other people that they're looking for, are they sharing any information about what citizens should be on the lookout for?
You know, they didn't have any good descriptions at all, and that's part of the frustration. In fact, in the alert that we got, it said no good suspect descriptions, so there's nothing worth putting out. They just know they're looking for 2 men right now.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
All right, thank you, Rhonda. Somerset Mall, known for its luxury department stores, but 2 people allegedly tried to take advantage of that in Saks Fifth Avenue. This duo was apparently armed with wire cutters and tried to steal 2 Chanel purses, totaling nearly $20,000. Now, police went after the pair through the mall and into a parking garage where we're told that they tried to escape. The pair was able to get into a car, and when an officer ordered them to stop, they drove right at him, hitting him in the leg. Thankfully, that officer was not seriously hurt. But once they were arrested, police determined that the couple didn't even belong in the U.S., as their immigration paperwork didn't exist or was invalid.
ICE responded and said, please hold these people for us. It doesn't matter what the crime is. There's people that will do anything to get away.
Well, the couple was then charged with shoplifting, but prosecutors even tacked on the more serious charge of assaulting an officer, and they now face deportation.
2 men in Allen Park have been arrested, accused of pretending to be utility workers and police officers while trying to break into a house. The homeowner says that the men wore neon vests and claimed to be from DTE. When that didn't work, they claimed to be officers. After the homeowner refused to let them in, they ran off, but the real police caught up with them a short time later. Livonia police have arrested a man that they say may have embezzled thousands of dollars over the past few years from the Home Depot where he worked. Dante Griffin is his name. He's accused of embezzling over $60,000 going all the way back to as early as June of this year. It is believed that Griffin would take smaller items that were on sale and hide them in a larger item, such as a storage bin, and he would then allegedly purchase the bin for its regular price with all of the stolen items inside. If convicted, Griffin could face up to 5 years in prison.
Well, it has been one of our most read stories on ClickOnDetroit.com. After being in business for 40 years, Skateland of Woodhaven announcing that it's closing its doors. The Downriver Rolling Rink made this announcement on its Facebook page, saying that they're in the process of selling the facility. Skateland will remain open for skating, for classes and parties until at least the middle of December. And then as a final celebration, they do plan to have a huge closing party. The family did want to express its thanks to the community for being a part of its legacy, but 40 years in business. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of great memories there.
No, absolutely. Time now is 5:38 here on your Friday morning, and new this morning, that's not our loved one. A family upset after a funeral home gets 2 bodies mixed up.
Uh-oh. And happening this weekend, it's what some are calling the Super Bowl of spiritual events in the Catholic faith. In the carport at 6 o'clock, why thousands are repacking Ford Field. Plus, the Ann Arbor school employee accused of selling pills to students. That and more when we come right back. Welcome back, everyone. A Baltimore police detective, shot in the head, has died, and a search for the suspect continues this morning. Investigators say 43-year-old Sean Suter, an 18-year-old veteran of the force, was shot after an altercation with a man that he thought looked suspicious Wednesday night while investigating an open case. Police say that they have very few leads as to who's responsible for this deadly shooting. Just 2 weeks ago, an off-duty Washington, D.C. officer who lived in the same area was gunned down.
And now to the scene of that shooting massacre in Las Vegas. The city there still continuing to recover. And there's now a security change we're learning at the site where gunman Stephen Paddock opened fire. The Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino has now installed security guards at its elevators. The 2 guards will now be permanent at the entrance to the elevators. For access, guests must show a room key. On October 1st, 58 people were killed and nearly 500 injured during Paddock's rampage.
Well, here's a look at what's happening today. Tickets for the 2018 Tiger Fest go on sale at 10 a.m. This event is going to happen at Comerica Park on January 27th.
And participants will be able to see the Tigers clubhouse, including some historic team artifacts. There will also be games and baseball activities for the kids. And you can buy your tickets online or by calling the Tigers box office.
Also, the 14th annual Detroit tree lighting ceremony is tonight. It's at Campus Martius, and there is the tree, a live look at it. Jessica Hernandez and the Deltas will be performing, and so will Detroit's Queen of the Blues and my good friend Thornetta Davis. U.S. figure skating Olympic medalist Jeremy Abbott will also be there, and more than 19,000 multicolored lights and ornaments will wrap the 60-foot Michigan-grown Norwegian spruce. That event starts at 5, and it's free and open to the public.
Gonna be a nice night. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Jeremy Abbott's one of my favorites.
Yeah?
He really is a very, very good skater.
And I don't think the weather's going to be too bad for that. It gets bad late tonight. Let's take a quick look at turkey travel. We're handling today through Monday for you, as some of you may be hitting the road, taking to the airwaves. Not the airwaves, that's the radio, right? Taking to the skies, I guess. The big problem will be the system that is coming here late tonight. If anybody has travel plans today around Denver into St. Louis, could be a little tricky later in the day, but Friday night through Saturday, this area of low pressure bringing a ton of rain through Chicago, St. Louis, maybe Milwaukee, down into Indy, and of course, Metro Detroit. On Sunday, if you're driving or heading east, you'll be heading into that wet weather, both rain and snow, depending on your elevation. If anybody's heading to the Green or White Mountains in the Northeast, some heavy snow potential there. But as we go late Sunday into Monday, the travel forecast looking better and better. A little bit of rain in the Pacific Northwest, but kind of to be expected, right? Well, Local 4 Storm Pins. This is where you can put pictures of your beards for our big beard giveaway, or perhaps your pets. This is Maggie in St. Clair Shores. We want to thank Kim W01, our storm pinner there, and she says Maggie's waiting for Santa. Well, that's so sweet. And also torture. Why are you torturing Maggie? It's like over a month away. She's going to be sitting there waiting. Awesome picture. Thank you very much. And there's some good beard pictures on there, too. I appreciate those. We'll be picking some winners. Low 30s in most locations right now, and low to mid 30s through the 8, 9 o'clock hours. Mostly cloudy most of the day, maybe at times partly sunny. What's the difference? It's just a little bit less cloud cover at noon, and then again through most of the day, mostly cloudy. 46. The winds pick up a little bit out of the south-southeast, maybe gusting 15 to 20 later in the day. Hobnobble gobble tonight, looking good again for the tree lighting or whatever you have going on, but by about midnight we have rain coming in. It's a combination of these systems out west, and watch the computer model as we go through the day today. No problems here, and we're going to stop it right before midnight, and you see some of the showers on the way that comes heavy with even some rumbles of thunder and a secondary wave Saturday afternoon. Good news is we're in the 50s, and rain and thunder through the early morning and afternoon hours. Could switch over to a little wintry mix Saturday evening. Lake effect snow shower chances Sunday, cold and windy. Monday, Tuesday looking pretty good. We're watching Thanksgiving, Kim, and it looks like we do have temperatures that are going to be cool in the morning, but Michigan bearable.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you, Brandon. Sounds like those beard winners are going to get a good use of those umbrellas this weekend. And as for your morning commute today, we are looking pretty good on our freeways. We just have one problem to warn you about before you head out the door this morning. An accident reported right on Hoover, right at 8 Mile here, so be careful if you do travel through this area. But other than that, we are accident-free, so I just want to let you know about this construction over on northbound I-75 between 8 Mile and I-696. One lane block there. This starts up a little over an hour, 7 a.m., ending at 3 p.m. Also, westbound I-96 will have some construction as well. The ramp to Joy Road will be closed between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. So you can just carry on to the next ramp if you do travel over on westbound I-96. Back to you.
It is 5:47, and an employee at Huron High School in Ann Arbor is in custody, accused of selling Adderall to students. Now, the name of the female employee has not been released, but she has been placed on administrative leave. It is unknown how many students were involved as purchasers, but there is an active investigation going on.
A little bit later on the Today Show here on Local 4, an exclusive one-on-one interview with Ben Affleck. You will not want to miss it. Savannah Guthrie will sit down with the Batman actor as he talks about the buzz surrounding his new movie Justice League and also the troubling culture of sexual harassment in Hollywood.
All right, it's time now for some stories that you might have missed. You remember that woman, the woman who was caught on camera in Maryland at a McDonald's, climbing right through the drive-through window and robbing the joint. Well,
yeah,
she's turned herself in.
She has. 27-year-old Jessica Cross allegedly stole soft drinks, food, and money. Her husband says that his wife barely remembers doing any of it because she has a drinking problem, but says that she apparently was simply hungry and thirsty and decided to go to McDonald's when it was not open, since she's been charged with theft and burglary.
Not the way to quench your thirst or your hunger.
Yeah, apparently it's her husband who got her to turn herself in.
Wow.
So hopefully she gets the help she needs, because apparently that's definitely something that she needs. 5:48 is your time, and for the first time ever, I should say, Nigeria is going to be represented in the bobsledding competition in the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games.
Reminds me of that movie Cool Runnings.
Yes, it does. That's the first thing I thought too.
So take a look. This is the 3-member team, and they were only formed last year. There you see pictured the driver, Sion Adigun, and then the brakemen, or brakewomen, should we say, Ngozi Onwumere and Akuoma Omega. They qualified for the event. Over 5 races held in Utah, Whistler, and Calgary in Canada.
Good for them.
Big congratulations to them.
Yeah, good
feel
luck.
like, you know what? Maybe a Cool Runnings too.
Maybe
It's a great movie in the 90s.
Yeah, it was.
It is 5:49, everybody. Let's talk about Kate Upton and Justin Verlander. They are back from Italy after being married. Well, they're not back here. They're back in the U.S., we should say, and probably down in Houston. After being married in Italy, and they're still working things out. Take a look.
It's my wife pushing me around, as always.
Just ball and chain, weighing me down.
Looks like a good workout, actually. Right? That's what we mean by working things out. Mom is a supermodel, and Dad, of course, is a world champion. The pair wasting no time getting back to work after the World Series.
Well,
Such
good for
a
them.
Cute couple.
And congratulations. We miss seeing them around here.
We do.
You know?
Yeah.
It is Friday, everybody, and that means that we're giving away something free, as we do every Friday here on Local 4.
Yes, you can enter now for your chance to win 1 free 24-inch cheese and 1 topping pizza. Yes, for once a month for 12 months in a row.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Where do I sign up?
This deal is for pickup only by our friends at Tormina's Pizza. Just head on over to the contest page of clickondetroit.com to enter. And you know they have like those massive,
I was just going to say,
human-sized pizzas.
Two 24-inch pizzas?
Yeah.
That will take you an entire month to eat it, and then you get another one.
Right. After the break, we're going to get you updated on this story. A female high school teacher accused of giving out good grades in exchange for sex with students.
And believe it or not, police are saying that it was her idea. We'll break down this story for you and tell you where it happened when we come back. Keep it here.
On the next Live in the D, Julia Roberts is talking about her wonderful new movie with us.
Plus, he's a mean one, and he's joining us in studio.
Today at 10 a.m. on Local 4.
Tonight.
Good Friday morning. Yes, Friday. Let's celebrate. 34 degrees, mostly cloudy skies outside. That's going to be the case most of the day. 46 the afternoon high. A little breezy, so it's going to feel cooler. And the rain comes tonight, but hobnobble gobblers, fear not. Probably not until we're heading out of the building in Ford Field late tonight. Kim?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, I just want to let you know about the southbound lanes of Van Dyke. It's been closed for 2 days because of that water main break. Well, it's going to remain closed, we know now, until 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So in the meantime, for this weekend and your commute over on Monday and Tuesday, you can use Mountain instead.
All right, thank you, Kim. A disturbing story out of Columbia. A teacher accused of forcing high school students to have sex with her in order to get good grades. Police say that the 40-year-old teacher threatened to fail them if they did not sleep with her. The married teacher was caught after a student told his parents. The incidents took place between January and April of last year when the teacher reached out to the students on social media asking for their number to help with their studies. The woman now faces 40 years in jail.
Well, for the first time ever, there has been a reported marijuana overdose death. 2 Colorado doctors say that their first and only marijuana overdose happened back in 2015. They say an 11-month-old baby boy was rushed to the emergency room after having a seizure. The boy's guardian told doctors that the child had been irritable and lethargic days before. Sadly, the boy's heart stopped, and even though they tried to resuscitate him, he did die. And after he died, doctors found the active ingredient in marijuana, THC, in not only the child's blood, but in the child's urine as well. Now to this random and bizarre and strange and disturbing story out of Tennessee. A family there wants answers after a mix-up at a Chattanooga funeral home.
How could something like this happen? On Wednesday, the family gathered to say their final goodbyes to their loved one, only to find another man in their loved one's casket. Willie Brown and his brother Dominique say that they were first to notice that something wasn't right when friends and family gathered for the visitation. Willie says that his uncle was a double amputee and the man placed in the casket was not.
The man was like, well, let's open the bottom of the casket. So the funeral director, he opened the bottom of the casket, and when he opened the bottom of the casket, he was like, and he slammed the casket and said, y'all get out.
That is,
It sounds like something out of a horror
horrible,
movie.
yeah.
You know, Willie says that his uncle's body was located at the morgue and then transported to the funeral home about 30 minutes later. Now, the funeral home says that they're sorry that the problem was made in the first place and also made public, and they're working with the family to resolve any issues. But really, how do you?
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
I mean, the funeral, that's one day. That's, you know, that's what that family's memory is
Now
of
they're
mourning their loved one.
traumatized
Yeah.
in more ways than one.
Yeah. Not to mention the other family whose loved one was
They wonder where his body is. It is 5:57, everybody. We can't make this stuff up. Coming up all new at 6 o'clock, local stories for you from Detroit, Ann Arbor, and Pontiac.
Plus, move over Mustangs and Corvettes? What? Tesla just unveiled the fastest production car ever. Just how fast can it go? We'll let you know.
I'm going to need to get my hands on one of those. And we do continue to follow breaking news from Detroit, where a robbery and shooting leads to a police chase. And now police are hoping to track down some suspects. We'll have a live report coming up.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news is out of Detroit. Police are now on the lookout for 2 people accused of robbing and shooting a man, and then leading police on a chase for several miles, including up Woodward Avenue. We'll have a live report.
Plus, developing overnight, a senior home destroyed after a massive fire breaks out, injuring at least 20 people.
It's finally Friday. Best day of the week, and we are tracking a big storm that's going to bring rain, thunder, maybe a little snow. We'll time it all out for you.
Yeah, Brandon is not touting how beautiful the weekend's going to be. Maybe outside, but there's a lot of indoor activities that are going to be just incredible. Hobnobble Gobble is tonight, and of course the beatification of Father Solanus tomorrow at Ford Field.
And
both events at Ford Field.
Let's not forget the Jay-Z concert.
At LCA. What is that what he does?
Yeah, Rockefeller.
All right.
got to teach people new things every day.
I think I've seen that, actually.
Have you?
Yes.
You'll see a lot of it if you go to the concert. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Brandon Rue. And Jay-Z fan?
Yeah, but you see it a lot in the NFL, I think, too, because he represents a lot of athletes, right? He's got an agency, and all his guys, when they get touchdowns, they do that.
Look at you. Here's a little fun fact.
What? We have low and middle 30s, all 4 zones for you right now. Calm winds, and with the cloud cover, we've kept the temperatures from bottoming out, and we've kept the fog away. So 2 good things, but the clouds present a bit of a dull look to the day today. Sunrise time for us on this finally Friday, 7:27 a.m. We have 33 degrees at the bus stop this morning. Cloudy and cool, but dry. 45 this afternoon, partly sunny, a little breezy, so it'll be feeling cooler than the mid-40s that we hit. We're seeing a little bit of rain and snow coming along the lake shore of Lake Michigan right now, western lower, but nothing really in the plans for us today. Tonight, late tonight, 2 systems out west will merge and bring some wet weather our way. But if you're heading to the tree lighting or Hobnobble Gobble, maybe to the Red Wings game tonight, we're looking pretty good. Temperatures in the low 40s and dry through 10 or 11 p.m. But by midnight, the rain will be coming in pretty hard, just so you know. Your 4-zone weather is ready for you. You can find your weekend forecast, find your zone, find your 7-day, all on the weather tab on clickondetroit.com. Kim DeJulio for Live Traffico. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. All right, well, as Brandon is saying, we do have that rain coming in tonight with lots of events happening downtown tonight. Just be careful for your drive home. The morning commute, though, looking pretty good. Freeways are all clear. Just one accident reported right now over on Hoover. This is right at 8 Mile. Be careful while traveling through that area. But like I said, conditions are great for your morning commute, so shouldn't see any slowdowns as you head out the door this morning. We also want to talk about some construction over on the Lodge. I'll tell you all about that project in my next report at 6:14. Back to you.
Thank you, Kim. At 6:03, we want to get back to the breaking news that you first saw here on Local 4. It's out of Detroit, and that's where a robbery and shooting led to a police chase throughout the city.
Yes, and this car chase ended in the Midtown area, right around Warren, just east of I-75. The shooting itself, that happened on the city's west side, right at Woodward and McNichols, and that is where we find Nick Monticelli this morning. Nick, we know that there are 2 suspects still on the run.
There are. 1 is in custody, 2 are still on the run, and I wish we had a better description to give you. We just don't, and that's just what police are dealing with this morning. So as you kind of laid out already, the robbery and shooting happened right here at McNichols and Woodward, actually on the east side of Woodward. And right behind me over there, you can kind of see that green flashing light on the top of that building. That means that this is a green light location, and the Detroit Police Department has ties, a connection to the high definition security cameras that are outside of that office building. And those cameras proved invaluable this morning because they could see the vehicle that was used in the shooting, and therefore they knew immediately what vehicle to start pursuing. And this right here, if you take a look at this video, is that vehicle. So because of those cameras, DPD and DPS security officers started chasing this vehicle, realizing that that was the one involved in this. And the chase and then subsequent, I guess you could say it was a crash, but it really just kind of threw the SUV up on the sidewalk and parked it and bailed, happened at Mack and Russell in the Midtown area. So then you've got this chase that ends over here. 3 people bail out of it. The cops are able to catch up to 1 of them. They arrest him. The 2 others chase or leave on foot, run away. Canines are called in. The MSP is called in. They try to find these 2 guys. They are unsuccessful. Can't find them. However, inside of the vehicle, they do find a long gun, and they believe that is the gun that was used in this robbery and shooting. Back out here at the robbery and shooting scene, there was a 36-year-old victim. We believe he was here at the bus stop waiting for the bus when this happened. The victim told police that he was standing here and that this Denali, the maroon Denali you saw, just pulled up. 3 guys got out. That's when they tried to rob him. They robbed him and then shot him, again, they believe, with that long gun. So unfortunately, again, we don't have very good suspect information. We just know that 2 males jumped out of that Denali. But if you know anything, you're always encouraged to call the Detroit Police Department or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. We're live here on Detroit's East Side. Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News today.
Well, that is significant, the Project Greenlight, and showing how well that can work.
Absolutely. All right, Nick, thank you.
Time now is 6:05, and take a look at this. At least 20 people are injured after a senior living community catches fire. This happened in West Chester, Pennsylvania. Firefighters responded to the fire around 11 o'clock last night. Dozens of residents lined the street wrapped in blankets, some in wheelchairs. No reported deaths have been reported.
When I looked out the window, it looked like a sunset, and that's how big the blaze was going at that point. And I knew something was going on with the helicopters and fire trucks and ambulances and police cars everywhere.
Hospitals are providing shelter to some additional residents of that senior center. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
The man who set off a manhunt in Ortonville after allegedly shooting his estranged wife and her friend is due in court today. His name is Michael Quigley, and he's formally going to be charged for that shooting. He was on the run for about 24 hours before a neighbor found him hiding in a van Wednesday night. That neighbor held Quigley at gunpoint until the SWAT team arrived. And sources say those 3 suspects who were arrested in connection to the shooting death of an O'Reilly Auto Parts store manager were in some sort of love triangle. The man's name is Leviticus Butler, and he says that both Shantae Anderson and Ebony McEwen Ross are his girlfriends. Now, the women allegedly robbed the store so that they could get money to celebrate their boyfriend's birthday. McEwen Ross turned herself in after finding an attorney nearly 2 weeks after the crime, while police were looking for her even as far away as Ohio. Both women are charged with murder.
Someone is threatening to put racy pictures of University of Michigan students online. Campus police issued a security bulletin saying that the 2 students reported an unknown person trying to get money from them in exchange for not publishing nude pictures. The victims met the scammer on Facebook, shared the racy photos and video with them thinking that it was a friend of theirs, but then that so-called friend blackmailed them, and now police are investigating. But a reminder to everybody, 1, it's illegal to send nude pictures, but also you put yourself at risk. So just don't take them, and definitely don't send them.
It is 6:07, everybody. Let's head on over to Jason. Check in with him. He's in studio this morning. He's got everything you need to know about this big event happening in downtown Detroit. A lot of Catholics will be at Ford Field.
Person born in the United States to receive the honor, the beatification of Father Solanus Casey, expected to draw thousands. But what exactly did he do to become such an inspiration for the Catholic faith? Well, that's coming up. Rhonda.
Self-defense worked in with a workout. It's Fitness Friday. We're back kung fu fighting next.
Tonight.
We're back in Eastern Market at Detroit Kung Fu Academy, where we're learning martial arts as self-defense. But one of the things you said is important, Owen, is relaxation, focus, and using our full body.
Yeah, engaging the full body. In a self-defense situation, you need all the power that you have, everything that's available. And the way we train that is using traditional form exercises.
Okay.
So I'll show you the first one. This one
Alfred's
is called, Sunim Tao is what it's called. And it develops the use of the entire body. Bend the knees, work on your punch. And then we slow it down a little bit. And you hold each position for a second and focus on really the entire body aiming.
All right, I'll let Alfred keep doing that because then it gets a little bit more advanced. So talk about what Eli's doing here.
So the forms mobilize. We work on stepping, turning, and kicking in Chum-Kyu.
And how would this be used in a self-defense situation?
You got to move in on people and you got to get away from them. You have to be able to adjust yourself as needed.
All right, and finally we have Chris over here, and he's blocking?
Yeah, blocking, striking, and seizing advantages. This is a form for emergencies.
And not only learning self-defense, but also, if you do this for an hour, you get a good workout too.
It's an intense hour.
Detroit Kung Fu Academy in Eastern Market is where we are. If you want to learn about their fall special, click on Detroit.com and search Fitness Friday.
It's amazing.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is 6:12, and he made a huge impact here in the city of Detroit, especially with helping the homeless.
Yes, the Pope has decided to move him one step closer to sainthood. We're talking about Father Solanus, and for those that don't know about him, Jason is here to tell us more.
Good morning. Tomorrow, 70,000 people from all over the world will pack Ford Field for the beatification of Father Solanus Casey. And since the father died before many of us were even born, some of us may be asking, well, who is he and why is he being honored? Born Bernard Francis Casey in 1870, he was a Catholic priest and a member of the Order of Friars Minor Capuchin. He did most of his work in Detroit and even helped open the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. He did spend 2 decades in New York before coming back to Detroit, where he died in 1957. And now he'll be the 3rd person born in the U.S. to receive beatification. So why is this happening? Well, first off, beatification is a declaration by the Pope that a deceased person has made it to heaven and has the power to impact those who pray in his or her name. According to the Catholic Church, Father Casey helped heal a Panamanian woman's skin condition after she prayed at his tomb here in Detroit. Now, that's not the only testimonial of miracle work being done by Father Casey from beyond the grave. 20 years ago, John Ahee was diagnosed with an extremely rare brain tumor. He was debating going through chemotherapy, and his father started everyone, including Cardinal Edmund Zoka. The Cardinal agreed to pray for John and say Mass for John, but then a strange thing happened.
Cardinal Sciacca came in and said to my dad, something tells me John shouldn't take his chemotherapy, which was to start in a couple of days. But other family and friends had said, you can't listen to this, you can't listen to this, you have to listen to the doctor, and thank God we went this route.
He believes Father Solanus Casey sent a message through Cardinal Sciacca because days later they learned the chemo would have likely killed him. Now, if you can't make it to Ford Field tomorrow, we've got you covered. Watch our live stream at clickondetroit.com or tune in to MeTV Detroit, channel 4.3. That's our digital 4.3. It all starts at 4 p.m.
The power of prayer.
The power of prayer, yes. Back to you.
All right.
A lot of people will be watching that one. It is 6:15. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Brandon Rue. All eyes are on the... Well, actually, I'm not really interested in the forecast. No.
We have a lot of high school football playoff games tomorrow. We have the game in East Lansing. It's Michigan State, Iowa? Maryland? Some Big Ten team? Anyway, got to win that one, and it is going to be a soaker, especially during the morning hours and then mid-afternoon. There could be a couple of breaks to benefit some, but not all. 35 outside your door right now. The cloud covers really helped us out. We thought we'd get cooler temperatures in the 20s this morning with some fog forming, but the clouds have sort of kept all of that away. Mid-30s through 8 o'clock. I show the tree because of the tree lighting at Campus Martius tonight. Come on downtown at about 5 o'clock. For festivities around the rink in Campus Martius, lighting the tree. 42 degrees at noon, 46 the afternoon high, staying mostly cloudy most of your dry day Friday. But tonight, Hobnobble Gobble, things are looking pretty good. 6 to midnight, roughly during that time frame. It is, again, mostly dry, a little breezy. 43 degrees or so, but by midnight we expect the rain showers to start coming in. We see the two systems merging together from the west coming in here. Not super impressive right now, but the two of them together will strengthen and bring us deluge type rains coming your way. Let's time it out here for you. Get us through the afternoon. Looking good. Again, a couple of holes in the cloud deck, but that's about it. By about midnight, here comes that rain. Could be a little before midnight. These models are sort of guesstimating based on the current situation. So give or take an hour or so on the start time of this. Late tonight through the morning hours, even some rumbles of thunder. Temperatures rising into the 50s. Maybe an 11 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. break, but more rain and thunder showers racing back in. Could switch over to a little bit of the white stuff late in the day. That's how quickly things will transition from warm and stormy, not warm, but warmer and stormy to colder. Look at Sunday. Windy 30s, lake effect flakes and flurries a possibility. And there's Campus Martius. There's the tree, a 60-foot Michigan grown tree down there. So it is going to be this evening, the official tree lighting of Detroit next to the rink there, and a ton of fun festivities. And you know, downtown Detroit, there's so much going on all the time.
Oh yeah, what an absolutely beautiful shot. Looking forward to that tree lighting. Lots going on downtown. So traffic getting downtown this weekend could be a little tricky, so make sure you give yourself some extra time. But we are good to go right now. No accidents to report. We just want to let you know about some construction over on the north and southbound lanes of the Lodge between Forest and Grand River. One lane blocked from 9 to 3. Also on the Lodge, happening on both sides between Linwood and Livernois. One lane blocked there. This starts at 10 a.m. ending at 2 p.m. Now I want to show you that situation over in Sterling Heights right now with our 1-800 Call Sam Chopper shot. This is because of that water main break that had the southbound lanes of Van Dyke closed right at 15 Mile. That's still closed right now, and even the northbound lanes, only one lane is getting by. This is now a construction project that is expected to be finished by Tuesday at 5 a.m. So in the meantime, if you do travel on Van Dyke for your morning or evening commute, you're going to want to use Mound instead. Evrod.
Thank you, Kim. It is 6:19. Let's get into today's consumer headlines. Owning a home could cost you more. We'll tell you why coming up. Plus, Tesla is rolling out 2 new vehicles, and I guarantee you'll want at least one of them. But first, social media giants are taking on fake news. Let's check in with Maribel Aber, joining us live now from NASDAQ. We'll start there. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Evrod. Before the riots, let's get to Facebook. Facebook, Twitter, and Google have a new way to fight fake news. The social media giants, along with media outlets such as the Washington Post, are rolling out trust indicators. So these indicators will appear as symbols in online stories. They'll also be pieces of online code to help improve search and news results. The trust indicators will attest how a story was reported and the reporter's credentials, as well as the media outlet standards. Long-term mortgage rates rose this week to the highest level in months. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage hit 3.95% according to Freddie Mac. That's up from 3.90 last week and the highest rate since July. The rate on 15-year fixed-rate home loans, which are popular with homeowners looking to refinance, rose to an average 3.31%. That's the highest price since April. Tesla has made a splash with 2 new introductions. The electric car maker is rolling out a new version of its Roadster sports car. Tesla says it can go from 0 to 60 in just 1.9 seconds. That would make it the fastest accelerating production car ever. Its price tag, $200,000. And Tesla unveiled its semi-truck with a range of up to 500 miles while carrying a full load and traveling at highway speeds. No word yet on how much the truck will cost. That's latest in biz, but Evrod, $200K.
Well, I guess we'd have to go halvesies on one of them. We know you're good for it. You're the money lady. Maribel, thank you. Have a great weekend.
There you go.
It is 6:20, everybody. Let's talk about Tim Hortons. They are starting the holiday season out right by rolling out ugly sweater koozies for their winter cups starting today.
Yes, and each one of their new iced cap and Cinnabon lattes coupled with their good gingerbread sugar cookies. And
gingerbread donuts and frosted sugar cookies with a holiday theme.
These donuts right there, oh my gosh, they look good. The koozies are free with any latte purchase while supplies last at select locations. So you might want to call ahead if you're looking for one, but I'm claiming this.
Yes.
This is so cute.
And we do want to give a big thanks to Amy from Tim Hortons for stopping by and dropping these off. Thank you so much. We're going to enjoy these during the break.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah. Well, hey, it's a big night tonight in downtown Detroit at Ford Field. Hobnobble Gobble gets underway, and it's your chance to go. Okay, you know that these individual tickets are hundreds of dollars, and one lucky Local 4 viewer is going to win a 4-pack of tickets to this black tie event tonight.
Yes, and all you have to do is go to the Local 4 Facebook page, follow the directions on this post for your chance to win. And don't forget to watch Local 4 live tonight at the event. It starts at 8 o'clock. Brandon, Karen, Drew, and I will be hosting live from Ford Field. My sons are going to be making a little cameo appearance in their tuxedos tonight.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
My son is very excited, my oldest one.
So cute. Love to see all the kids all in their tuxedos.
Yeah.
It's just
Brandon's
the
kids will be on
ever.
too, and so will Karen's.
All right. It's a big family affair for us.
Roulette.
It is 6:22 and still ahead. No one claims an energy drink is good for you, but there is new research that shows just how bad it can be for you. Something you're going to want to hear if you drink them regularly. That's ahead in good health.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's Facebook friend is Kate Keller from Sterling Heights, and she and her boyfriend work out with us every morning, and they love Brandon's traffic. They love Brandon's weather and Kim's traffic. There we go.
And Fitness Friday.
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to send you a $25 gift card to National Coney Island. Congratulations. In good health, it's easy to believe some energy drinks are healthy, but new research suggests they're actually very bad for you. They're not healthy at all. Doctors found their short-term benefits are outweighed by scary health risks like mental health problems, risk-seeking behavior, increased blood pressure, obesity, tooth erosion, and kidney damage. That'll make you think twice about drinking them. Researchers now argue that there is a need for more regulatory oversight in these energy drink markets, including caffeine limits and regulations on marketing, especially targeting kids and teenagers.
Now, did that study include the sugar-free Red Bull that I have every once in a while?
Just get some sleep and drink water.
All right, it is 6:26, everybody. Next at 6:30, local stories for you from Allen Park, Troy, and Ann Arbor.
Plus, willingly sleeping outside. Why several people across Metro Detroit, some awesome business leaders I know are doing it in the chilly weather. We'll tell you why.
But first, a look at sports with Bernie.
Good morning, everyone. Lions face the Bears Sunday at Soldier Field. Detroit favored by 3. It's a must game with the Vikings looming next Thursday. We've got highlights of Lions. They all practiced outside yesterday for the second day in a row. Bears are 3-6 and led by quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, who was their #1 draft pick. Terrell Austin says Trubisky is not playing like a rookie.
Sometimes with young quarterbacks, you may see, oh, wait, that's not the right formation. It's not that. You don't see that. That guy gets them in and out of the huddle. They're up there. They're ready to go. He can break out. So against the Saints, they tried to blitz him. He recognized it. He just took off about 40-plus yards.
That's Mitchell Trubisky, 1 o'clock Sunday in Chicago. College basketball last night, Michigan beats Southern Mississippi 61-47. NBA, Pistons are in Indiana tonight. NHL, Wings host Buffalo. I'm Bernie Smolovitz. We'll see you later today at 5, 6, and 11.
We're on a mission. Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking overnight, robbery, shooting, and a police chase right down Woodward. Now, Detroit police are searching for 2 people.
She wasn't handing out homework. Police say that one school employee is accused of selling prescription drugs to the students. Brandon, at the Telestrator, what you got?
Well, I've got to look at Saturday's model and what looks like kind of like a little dog here saying, what is that? Rain? And then you've got this guy saying, nope, that's snow. I mean, who's with me here?
Was he talking to himself?
You know, like he was really trying to sell us on it. I'm like, I don't see the dog. Sometimes Brandon can look at clouds and be like, do you see that?
Maybe he was drinking some of those Red Bulls we were talking about during our last segment.
You know what? You've been on a roll this week, Brandon, but it sounds like the judges gave you kind of a thumbs down on that one. I'm sorry.
Listen,
We're not the judges. Obviously, it's not our call.
You can't know pleasure until you know pain.
My eyes are watering. I'm so mad at you.
This show.
My eyeliner's running.
Now Kevin Berryman is the sound control guy, and we said happy birthday to his mom today.
Right.
Being real nice, and then.
Are you trying to get, there you go. Some sympathy.
35 degrees outside your door right now with cloudy skies, and the day ahead looks like this. Middle 30s through 8 o'clock this morning. A dry day Friday, but a lot of clouds out there. Only partly sunny at times. 42 at noon. 46 degrees this afternoon. These south-southeast winds pick up a little bit through the afternoon. 10 to 15, maybe gusting a little bit closer to 18 or 20. Not terrible, but you can see the clouds racing in here. This is a little sliver of snow for our Hunter friends up north, but also parts of western UP getting a little bit of snow there. We're looking at mainly rain as it comes in. We have 2 systems sort of combining, and they'll be coming our way later tonight. So it looks like we have conditions for Hobnobble Gobble from 6 to midnight. Mostly dry, low 40s, so you'll be good getting in. Coming out at midnight out of Ford Field, we will see some rain showers coming down, and it gets heavy through Saturday. We'll take a closer look coming up.
Did you see his twerkies? I think that's so funny. Twerking turkeys.
can't believe you just said turkey on TV.
That's what Brandon
Kim,
called
save
them.
us.
Brandon named them turkeys.
All right, well, my traffic report has nothing to do with twerking turkeys. Yeah, apparently so. But actually, I come with some great news this morning because Brandon has that little dicey forecast. So I'm going to be the one to make you happy because there's no accidents right now to report. So we're looking good on this Friday morning. But we've got construction, nothing that's really going to slow you down, just something to keep in mind over on Michigan Avenue. East and westbound Michigan Avenue, right at I-75. One lane block there. This is happening between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Also on both sides of Michigan Avenue, right at Telegraph. Expect one lane block there during that same time, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now let's take a look at the roads right now with our 1-800 Sam Chopper shot. And here is a pretty shot as well. This is a look at I-75 headed towards the Ambassador Bridge. Traffic volume still pretty light and no slowdowns. Conditions, may I add, are great as well. Visibility is good to go. Back to you.
Kim, thank you. At 6:34, we want to get back to the breaking news we've been following for you all morning long. It's out of Detroit, and police here searching for suspects, 2 suspects in connection to a robbery and shooting.
Yeah, they were able to catch one of them. The shooting led to a car chase, and it all ended miles away from where it all began at Woodward and 6 Mile. That's where we find Nick Monticelli joining us now to walk us through all of this and how that Project Greenlight played a huge role.
Oh, Rhonda, this is one of those opportunities where I can guarantee Chief Craig later on is going to say this is why we have these systems in place. So let me put up this map to give you a better idea of what we're talking about. The shooting happened basically where I'm standing right now in the 17,000 block of Woodward, which is just maybe 5 or 6 blocks north of McNichols. The chase ended at Leland and Russell, which is pretty close to Mack and Russell. So a few miles, not a very long chase, but nevertheless, it certainly happened. Take a look at how the chase ended. This is a maroon SUV, a Denali, I believe. That was what the 3 suspects were inside of. So this all happened at about 1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the chase ended over there again after the robbery and shooting. The robbery and shooting happened over here on Woodward in front of a green light location. It's just an office building that has a green light camera there. But what's interesting is that DPD was able to look real quickly and see what vehicle was involved in the robbery and shooting. They saw the vehicle, then the chase was able to start because they could find it very quickly. After the chase ended, which apparently they just parked the SUV there on the sidewalk, 3 suspects got out, 1 was arrested, 2 fled on foot. The MSP was called, canines were called. They couldn't find them, unfortunately. But a long gun was found inside the SUV, which they believe is the same gun used in the robbery and shooting, which again happened over here. We think over at the bus stop behind me back there. So there was a 36-year-old that was standing over there. This, what they called this, or described as a crew, came up, robbed him, and then shot him. He is in serious condition. He is expected to survive. Fortunately, he was able to give police all of these details. But the bottom line is that green light camera over there certainly helped in this situation. 1 person is under arrest, and police are looking for 2 more in this robbery and shooting. We're live here on Woodward. Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News today.
All right, Nick, thank you. It is 6:36, and we are following other stories for you from all across the Metro Detroit area.
Stories from Allen Park and Troy, but we do want to start in Ann Arbor because that's where an employee at Huron High School is in custody, accused of selling Adderall to students there. Now, the name of the female employee hasn't been released just yet, but we do know that she's been placed on administrative leave. And it's not known how many students were involved in the sale of these drugs, but parents are concerned that it's a lot more common than they originally thought.
Because it's so readily available anyway, probably. Probably more than I even know. But to have it in the school from a teacher is really, really hard to imagine.
Kind of alarming. In fact, an active investigation is ongoing.
Over in Troy, a duo armed with wire cutters attempted to steal 2 Chanel purses in value of $20,000. The pair was able to escape and get into a car, but when an officer ordered them to stop, they drove right at him, hitting him in the leg. The officer was not seriously hurt. Once arrested, police determined that the couple didn't even belong in the United States. They're citizens of Mexico. Police say their immigration paperwork did not exist or was invalid.
And over to Allen Park now, where 2 men have been arrested. These 2 men for pretending to be utility workers and police officers. Detectives say that the men were trying to talk their way into someone's home as part of a robbery plot. When the homeowner refused, they ran away, but they were caught just a little while later. It is 6:38, and nearly 2 million kids here in America will face homelessness this year. It's a serious problem, but thanks to the Covenant House, those numbers could change.
Yes, they certainly could. This was the backdrop for the annual Sleep Out America event, where all that's needed is you, a safe place to sleep outside, and your commitment to helping homeless youth. Those participating are asked to raise at least $50 towards the goal of ending such a widespread issue. And they have all been sleeping outside throughout last night. So we thank everybody that volunteered to do that and help raise money for our homeless youth in Covenant House.
Absolutely.
Jason, he joins us now with a look at some holiday fun.
That's right. Tonight, the Christmas tree will be lit here in downtown Detroit, but that's not all that's happening. What the city's doing for the first time and how you can get in on the fun. Evrod?
Plus, some Buckeyes might be in a boatload of trouble. Why Ohio State University now cracking down on Greek life.
And it's their chance to go to the state championship. In our high school football For Frenzy game of the week, we are featuring Warren De La Salle and Detroit Martin Luther King. The two teams face off tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Hazel Park High School. Winners head to Ford Field next weekend. Good luck to both teams.
Welcome back. Ohio State has become the latest school to suspend fraternity activities. The school suspended all 37 fraternities, calling it a proactive step. School officials saying that it has the highest number of cases of alcohol violations and hazing that it's seen in recent years during just this semester alone. Social, recruitment, and new member activities have been suspended until further notice. Each fraternity there must also develop a plan to implement changes so stuff like this doesn't happen. The suspension does not apply to the sororities.
Senator Al Franken is requesting an ethics review of himself after sexual assault accusations came to light. Franken issued two separate statements apologizing to a radio news anchor. Her name is Leanne Tweeden, and she told her story about Franken forcibly kissing her and taking a picture of him groping her while she slept in 2006, or appeared to be sleeping. They were doing a sketch there. Tweeden and Franken, who was not a U.S. senator at the time, were part of a USO tour entertaining troops overseas. This was before he became a senator. Tweeden says that she accepts his apology and is not calling for him to step down. Meanwhile, former President George H.W. Bush is facing yet another accusation of groping. A seventh woman says that the former president groped her at a re-election fundraiser in Dearborn. This is back in 1992. She doesn't want to be named, but she does say that while a picture was being taken, he grabbed her rear end. The woman told CNN that she tried to rationalize it at the time, saying she thought it must have been an accident, but recent allegations against Bush Sr. made her rethink it and come forward. The former president is now 93 years old and in a wheelchair.
In South Dakota now, part of the Dakota Access Pipeline closed this morning after nearly 210,000 gallons of oil leaked out. Officials of the company constructing the pipeline were alerted after a drop in pressure. The oil leaked into an agricultural area, but no waterways just yet. Some opponents of the pipeline criticized the leak for being predictable before it was built. Officials are investigating the leak, and they're not really sure when it will reopen. It is 6:44 on your Finally Friday. We got to go to weather. I don't know.
We do, and it's a wet one. A lot of festive events happening this weekend. The tree lighting at Campus Martius, Hobnobble Gobble, beatification on Saturday. It looks like the weather is not really cooperating, Brandon.
Well, I mean, there was pressure, and then you put the good Lord pressure on top of that. Forgive me, Father, for I have this forecast that does not look too great. But we start with turkey travel, just planning ahead. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, looking at the models here. The big problem over the next 24 hours will be coming in here. So if your plans tonight include travel to St. Louis or through the Plain States, you'll run into rain and snow. But coming in here tomorrow, tonight and into tomorrow, mainly is rain. But this is an issue for Chicago, St. Louis, parts of Indiana and Ohio for Saturday, so tricky travel then. Sunday, anybody heading east-northeast is going to run into that same storm while high pressure dominates most of the country. The weather looks pretty good as we head into Monday and Tuesday if you're traveling then. we have, well, storm pins missing in action. But we have some Pacific moisture coming in today, or tonight rather, that is going to be heavy at times. Take a look at the numbers outside your doors right now. Low 30s to some middle 30s closer to downtown. We'll take that. So 33-ish at the bus stop, mainly cloudy and cool this morning. Sunrise 7:27 a.m. This afternoon we're in the middle 40s and only partly sunny skies with conditions later on not really cooling off tonight with clouds increasing. Winds are going to be coming out of the south, but these systems really not merging together until late tonight, probably by midnight. So most of you get in and out of Hobnobble Gobble at Ford Field on the drier side, but we will start to see that rain by midnight coming in. And here's a quick look here at midnight. It gets heavy at times through the overnight. We may get a quick little break. There's the dog, Rhonda. I don't know how you didn't see the dog. But anyway, we have what looks to be some rain and thunder through the morning, a late morning break, and then more showers through the afternoon and windy. It's going to be colder Sunday, Kim, with some lake effect snow shower chances.
Brr. All right, well, good weekend to stay inside and bundle up. All right, well, we do want to let you know about those of you headed downtown this morning over on I-94. Expect some slowdowns right now. We've got an accident over on the westbound side of I-94, right at I-75 here. The left lane is blocked. As you can see from our maps, it looks like it's a little bit slower than normal, but here's a look at our MDOT camera, and as you can see, take a look, here is that lane blocked there, so you can see that it's a little slower, but still able to get by, so just be careful of that accident while traveling over on westbound I-94. But other than that, we are looking good. I do want to show you what the roads look like with our 1-800-CALL-SAM-TRAPPER shot. This is another area of I-94 right at Southfield Freeway over by that big tire, and things are looking good here. Conditions for your morning drive are good as well. Back to you.
Love the big tire. Tonight, a holiday extravaganza will be happening here in downtown Detroit, but the party also comes with a first for the city. Joining me live from Beacon Park, Megan Brennan with Downtown Detroit Partnership. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's Friday. Let's get the party started and tell us all about the event.
That's right. So for the first time in 14 years, this is so exciting. The Detroit tree lighting ceremony is coming right here down to Beacon Park. Now, if you're not familiar, Beacon Park is on the corner of Grand River and Cass, and it's extending the party, so you don't have to choose between the two parks, which is really fun. The party runs from 5 p.m. to midnight, and we are running shuttles all night long from here, Beacon Park, all the way to Campus Martius. So if you show up here, we've got a huge 10,000 square foot heated tent behind me. We're going to have a live performance by the Queen of the Blues, Thornetta Davis. We'll have a bunch of food trucks and bars and food and drink available for purchase. We'll also have a DJ playing music and these fantastic interactive light installations that are actually here in the park for the first time ever in the United States. So we're just so excited. We're expecting crowds of thousands, and we can't wait for everybody to come down.
When you say the interactive lights, how are they interactive?
So it's really neat. We have a couple different ones. One is called the Iceberg, and it's an archway. It's just behind me right now. And as you walk through it, it lights up and plays music. And the more people that walk through, the more the lights and music shine. And then over to my right, we have this beautiful, it is an interactive fire pit, if you will, with a number of Edison bulbs that shoot to the sky. And the more people that gather around it, the more heat it gives off, the more that the lights flicker. It's really neat.
And anything else the folks need to know about parking? You mentioned the shuttle, but admission, parking, anything like that?
Sure. So admission is free, and you know there are a couple different ways you can get here. We are accessible by public transportation. So the bus, you know, if you're brave enough and you want to bundle up, you could MOGO. We have a MOGO station right here in the park. And then of course, if you park a little bit further north along Woodward, you can always take the Q line down and walk just west along Adams.
All right, all good information. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thanks so much for having me. We can't wait to see everybody down here tonight.
It's going to be a blast. Let's go over to Evra.
Oh,
Alrighty.
that looks gorgeous.
Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. This is also going to be a lot of fun because all morning long we've been asking you to enter to win 4 tickets to tonight's big black tie event at Ford Field, Hobnobble Gobble. You can enter on the Local 4 Facebook page. Well, you could have entered, and it's time to reveal the big winner now.
Yes, because it's been sold out for a long time. So this is the only way to get tickets. And the winner is Holly Main of Garden City, and she is thankful for her 2 sons. We ask you what you're thankful for. Truly blessed with 2 of the greatest kids. Well, guess what? Your kids are going to love Hobnobble Gobble. So get them dressed in their suits and tuxes and your dress and head on down. Congratulations to you, Holly. And we will be contacting you after the show to arrange to get your tickets. It's going to be a fun night.
Brandon and I will see you there.
Yeah, make sure you stop by and see Brandon and Evrod, Karen Drew, the whole team will be there. And don't forget to wake up with us on Thanksgiving morning. Just set your schedule to rise with us while you're cooking dinner. Live coverage of America's Thanksgiving Parade begins with our morning team at Hockeytown and out along the parade route.
Yep, it's your front row seat to the parade, and it starts at 6 a.m. only here on Local 4.
Yeah, it's our big Local 4 tradition. Everybody that works here at Local 4 works that day, and it's just an exciting time for us to be a part of such a great tradition here.
It certainly is. We've got your stories to watch for coming up next. Keep it here.
Sky.
Welcome back, everyone. We continue to follow breaking news from Detroit's West Side. That's where police are continuing to search for 2 people after a robbery and a shooting. Now, there was a brief car chase before the suspects ran off. We've learned that only 1 person is in custody.
And Michael Quigley will be arraigned today in the shooting of his estranged wife and her boyfriend. Quigley was on the run for nearly 24 hours before a neighbor found him hiding in a van and held him at gunpoint until police arrived.
And at least 20 people are hurt after a senior living community catches on fire in Westchester, Pennsylvania. This happened around 11 last night. Dozens of those residents were evacuated, some even in wheelchairs. Thankfully, no deaths have been reported.
The beatification for Father Solanus Casey is happening at Ford Field tomorrow. It gets underway at 4 p.m. If you can't make it to the service, you can watch it. We will be live streaming it right here at clickondetroit.com, or you can tune into MeTV Detroit, channel 4.3.
Well, good morning. We have low and middle 30s over all 4 zones, and clouds pouring in. However, dry most of the day. The rain way out west doesn't get here until late Friday into Saturday. So 46, mostly cloudy, decent day today. Hobnobble Gobble tonight, 6 to midnight. We start dry, but by the time we come out of Ford Field closer to midnight, some rain starting to come into the area. It's going to be heavy overnight, rain and thunder, and a couple of waves on Saturday, too, that could change to a wintry mix late.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, slow-moving traffic over on westbound I-94 because of an accident right at I-75. You can see there that the left lane is blocked. Give yourself extra time. This will slow you down.
All right, everybody, it is time to reveal today's Beard of the Day winner.
Yes, the moment we've been waiting for. Who is it, Brandon?
It is Randall Jones, or Randall Jones.
Very nice. It's a little salt and pepper.
It's actually Ronald Jones.
It's Ronald Jones from Highland Park. Nice little salt and pepper beard there. He says, my wife makes me grow the beard every November. Of course, it is
No Shave November.
No Shave November to raise awareness for men's health. And Brandon is participating as well with a little beard.
Absolutely. And we have
our salesman putting us in the dark.
This is the Shed Rain Vortex Vent umbrella. This thing, again, is built for nuclear war.
It really is.
You will survive.
It's a $100 umbrella that you get to win. So congratulations to you, Ronald. You'll need it this weekend.
Seriously.
It certainly will.
It's Rondell. That's what the prompter said.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the Jay-Z concert.